Ice Cube, because Ice Cube has come out and given everybody some brutal truth. Sorry, Angel Reese, the $5 million offer was only for Caitlin Clark.
Angel Reese was humiliated by Ice Cube without even raising his voice. TMZ questioned him about why he gave Caitlin Clark $5 million to play in the Big Three, but not Angel Reese when they got him at LAX. His response was terrible, calculating, and frigid. It's not charity. Our goal is to turn a profit. Boom. The discussion comes to an end there. Not even a call, not a single offer. Why? Because despite all the publicity, Angel Reese doesn't generate any income. Not ratings, not merchandise, not tickets.
Angel Reese, you think she could ball out? You know, she's pretty solid, you know?
Yeah, she's a great player. You know, the thing with Caitlin Clark, it was just to unlock millions of dollars for the league because of her stardom.
What everyone in the sports world was thinking was said by Ice Cube. Angel Reese has never been and is not Caitlin Clark. Let's go back in time. The Big Three League's founder, Ice Cube, came out with a $5 million offer for Caitlin Clark. However, this wasn't merely a hyperbolic publicity gimmick. This was a significant financial commitment. $10 million spread over 2 seasons, 50% of merchandise, league stock, and a 7-figure documentary contract for 10 games are all included. Did you hear correctly? 2 postseason appearances and 8 regular season games. Each game is worth $500,000. Why? Due to Caitlin Clark's track record as a magnet. As if she were the second coming of Jordan, she moves numbers, fills venues, records ratings, and fans yell her name. Ice Cube went crazy after realizing the potential. It has nothing to do with gender. Fairness wasn't the issue. ROI, or return on investment, was the focus. Clark brings more than simply hype. She adds warmth. She is selling out venues from Iowa to Indiana more quickly than Ticketmaster can fulfill orders. After winning a national championship, Angel Reese is still unable to fill half of an LSU arena. Ice Cube followed the advice of astute businesspeople. The money led him. And the only player worth placing a wager on was Caitlin Clark. Sports journalists were rocked by that offer as soon as it was announced. You know what it verified, too? In basketball, there is just one female player it's not Angel Reese who is altering the game. So, the big question is now being asked by TMZ. Why didn't you provide the same offer to Angel Reese, Yokub? His answer was business logic encased in ruthless truth. Like the WNBA, we do not enjoy the luxury of subsidies. Players who can ensure revenue are what we need. Angel Reese's translation is ain't it. Cube had no intention of being impolite. He was being honest. And it stings a lot when you've been told you're a superstar by the media for 2 years in a row. However, let's face it, Angel's notoriety is based on a tenuous foundation of viral phrases and social media noise. Her trash talk and TikTok takeovers are well known. After examining the data and KPIs, Ice Cube spoke with sponsors to find out their thoughts. Angel is not an investment for us. It's deafeningly quiet. No interest, no call, and no counteroffer. And keep this in mind before her supporters start yelling unfairness. This has nothing to do with rivalry or race. It has to do with outcomes. Those dollar signs are earned by Caitlin Clark. Angel Reese no longer makes nice headlines. She just makes news. This isn't charity, Cube said. He was serious. In reality, it's either put up or shut up. Additionally, Angels is just a showy person, whereas Caitlin Clark's star power is supported by statistics. Illusion, one that is becoming less and less valuable every day. Even though Angel Reese manages social media, it doesn't cover expenses. She has an amazing Instagram. She tweets a lot. She has viral interviews and brand deals. But consider this. Does anyone really pay to see her perform? At that point, reality sets in. Sponsors are more concerned with returns than with real estate. Additionally, Angel Reese didn't make a difference when Ice Cub's team got down to look at the numbers. Caitlin Clark, meanwhile, was breaking records at every turn. Sales of jerseys, tickets, ratings, and attendance. Clark has real-world need, but Rhee has a lot of digital noise. There is a distinction. People will go throughout the nation to observe Caitlyn. Not so much Angel. It's not hate either. The unpleasant reality is that it's a fallacy that followers are the same as fans. You might land an endorsement deal that way, but you won't keep it. Ice Cube simply expressed what the sponsors were already considering. Angel Reese isn't heat, she's hype. And if you can't perform on the court, the excitement quickly wanes in professional sports. Angel Reese just learned the hard way that social media isn't a ticket queue. Now let's discuss timing. Chicago welcomes Caitlyn Clark like a rock star. The arena is electrified. Fans crammed into every available space. Chants, autographs, and outright insanity. Angel Reese. She suddenly suffers from a sore back on a daily basis. Now injuries occur. We understand. Fans, however, were unable to ignore the synchronicity. Did her team know what was about to happen? Or was she truly hurt? Since Clark was within the structure, the analogy was inevitable. Angel's camp knew she would be outdrawn in her own city, and everyone would have been watching the crowd, the noise, the enthusiasm, the merchandise sales, and the ratings. That's live television humiliation. So she sat in silence. No criticism, no remarks, just quiet. Furthermore, that quiet was more audible than anything she had ever uttered. It's one anything to be eclipsed. To disappear is another. The whispers began right away. Was she evading? Was this a tactical wound? We don't have to prove anything, even though we can't. There were poor optics. Very terrible. Because it's possible that you weren't the primary character in the first place if Caitlyn Clark can take over your city, your fan following, and your moment when you're not even on the court. The Chicago Queen failed to appear, and the supporters. Do you recall when Angel Reese was announced as Reebok's new face? Commercials, advertisements, billboards, the full Trap Queen role. Yes, regarding that. The campaigns. Losing steam already. Sources claim that sponsors are retreating behind the scenes. A few scheduled activations were canceled, while others were put off indefinitely. Why? Because the investment is not justified by the numbers. Engagement is declining. The buzz is waning. Additionally, the returns are really poor. It's not that Angel lacks skill. The problem is that she isn't translating. She was thought to be the upcoming sensation. However, a harsh reality cannot be concealed by all that branding. Slogans are not paid for by fans. They pay to attend shows. And Angel's initiative. Everything is personal. There is no manufacture. Reebok placed a wager on her image, and it appears that this wager is currently risky. Caitlyn Clark, meanwhile, stole the show without even needing a shoe deal. She simply arrived and began to play. The cameras and fans followed, and Reebok may be wondering if they chose the wrong Barbie. Ice Cube was a forerunner. Reebok is catching on late. In any case, the message is obvious. Angel's reputation is fading. The worst part is that it's taking place right now. The person she was meant to compete with, however, continues to rise. It was a takeover when Caitlyn Clark got to Chicago, not simply a game. As if it were Game 7 of the finals, fans rushed the arena. Desperate for a peek, a signature, a selfie, or anything else, many waited in line for hours. The most outrageous aspect was that this wasn't even her home court. This was